And we are live. Welcome to Ultra Podcast C. I'm JD. I'm just a disembodied voice for now, but I'm still doing the intro. Do our hosts want to introduce themselves?
Yes.
You go first.
I thought this would be alphabetical order. I am Fotaku, otherwise known as Josh, from the Fotaku Network, which is clearly not defunct. I had some cool videos with my gorgeous wife, Hannah. So I am very much alive. We're both alive. We're alive. Yeah.
Andrew?
Hi, I'm Andrew. I am still working on the Mononoke video, I swear, and I am currently playing Final Fantasy 13.
And how's that going for you? Okay, I see. It's going very well. Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
Yay,
All right.
very well.
Later.
So, as part of our continuing anime, I guess, sub-series of Ultra Podcast Z, each year for the last 3 years that or 2 years that we've done it, we've done 3x3s of different people. I did it with Fangy last year. Manuel did it with, I can't remember who we did it with 2 years ago. And this year it's Andrew and Josh. Thank you both for deciding to share your tastes in anime with us.
Yay.
I've watched at least 9 anime. That's changed.
Hey, everyone's got to get their start somewhere. So let's move over to that screen. Scenes 3x3. All right. Which one of you wants to go first? Don't both of you get so excited at once, please.
We're so used to there being another person here who will just like spend 12 minutes of the runtime about how his day went, and then we're like stuck on a tangent about how this one woman from the convenience store decided that she wasn't gonna let Manuel have his chocolate milk that day, only because he walked in really drunk, and she was afraid that the only action would be to call the cops. So I don't know. I feel like it'd be something like that.
Do we want to start clip farming?
Okay. Andrew, we're starting with yours. I will reveal it now.
Okay.
So, where do you want to start?
Oh, shit, wait, I didn't realize you were streaming on your end, too. Wait, no, you're not. There I am. Okay. This will be very delayed because I'm on stream delay.
Mm-hmm.
We have, only one overlap, I think. So that's awesome.
The top 3 are my 3 favorite anime of all time. They are Mononoke, OddTaxi, and Perfect Blue.
Okay.
I kind of organized them, actually. I kind of organized them.
They didn't need to be in any particular order, but thank you for putting them in something of an order.
Oh, no, this was all kind of me bullshitting my way through.
Yeah.
There are only 2, legitimate organization things I got going. Perfect Blue, psych horror, done by Satoshi Kon. I think it was his first movie. It's really good.
Yes, it's his first movie.
Please, make sure you research what goes on in it. There is a very severe content warning in there.
They play it every fall at Regal Cinema. I'm pretty sure most are hopefully aware.
If they do, I might go. Okay, Mononoke is a mystery kind of horror. It's very episodic-ish. I highly recommend it. It is not the Studio Ghibli film. I have never seen the Studio Ghibli film.
It's a great movie.
Okay, that's a good thing to clarify.
OddTaxi is a straight up mystery.
Feel free to go into more depth than you're giving now. You can take time. We've got an hour and a half and 18 things to go over to.
Sorry. Focuses on Medicine Peddler, and it's really cool. It was something I didn't expect to enjoy when I first watched it. Okay, OddTaxi. I really want to talk about OddTaxi.
Okay.
Looks like Futurama.
OddTaxi is a mystery drama that is if I'm correct, murder mystery. It's been a year since I watched it, but this was a recommendation I got from one of my friends. It was fucking perfect. I cannot really think of a ton of issues with it. Mononoke is my favorite, but I can kind of find issues in it. OddTaxi is probably the best anime I've ever seen, because the only issue I had is pretty nitpicky, I would say. But it is not at all what you expect going into it, and I cannot recommend it enough. I don't want to go into much detail on the plot, but it is so well done.
Yeah, as someone who has also seen this in the past couple of years, it's a great kind of mystery. It's got elements of thriller in there, dealing with the crime in the area, dealing with that cab driver just gets caught up in all of this. All these weird
all
webs.
Interconnected.
Yeah.
Okay, and I also think that's either that or Love is War is the most recent thing on this list, which is really funny. Okay, so the second row is The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Kaguya-sama Love is War, and Gurren Lagann. I'm pretty sure I put those three there because all three of them are like very character focused.
I don't know if I've ever heard anyone describe Gurren Lagann as character focused.
I wouldn't say Gurren Lagann's character focused, but the main thing I remember from that show is one of the main things I remember is the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is a light novel series written by Naguru Tanigawa, starting in 03. For the record, I join calls with friends sometimes and just start doing that just to get them angry.
I was about to say, it sounded like you had rehearsed this.
I have rehearsed it because I've done it so many times. I have chilled this series before. It is legitimately one of the most interesting anime I talk about. It is flawed as hell. I will constantly point issues at it.
Looking at you,
however, more insight on that one. Well, for one thing, the title character is really obnoxious, but that's also her point. Like, it's kind of the point of her being not a good person. Okay, Kotaku Network.
That's Josh.
Is that Josh just typing right now?
Yes.
I'm about to shatter your worldview right now so hard as an ex-follower of the religion of the one Haruhi Suzumiya.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay, so anyway, I will say that I really enjoyed that one. In fact, it's probably funny where JD, you know, we're talking about 17 anime, not 18. We have like one overlap in this bitch, but we'll this one isn't that one. This one is not that one. Haruhi could have made the list, but unfortunately, I don't want to say I outgrew it. It's just that I noticed something funny afterwards. But I do like it's a very boy meets girl anime. I like that there's that like weird ass situation of someone who wants to separate themselves from their 8th grader syndrome. In my case, I guess it's just cringe. But like, I find it so funny and it's so captivating how you have like, I want to meet time travelers, espers, and
it's just
aliens.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Look over. What the fuck is wrong with all of them? Haruhi was not a series. It wasn't what I expected, but I'd say watch Haruhi also because it's like kind of a cultural touchstone with anime.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Like that was the definer back in like the mid 2000s. So I will bring it up just as like a fun conversation starter because it's a very interesting one to talk about, which is the similarity the first column has going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that's really good to separate it that way. It's really cool and yeah, no, I would agree. There was the joke that you either believed that Haruhi was your god or Madoka was your god, but like,
I believe neither because I haven't seen Madoka yet.
But like, you know, I think the story's really cool. It's really captivating. I didn't read the light novels, but I mean, the premise is really nice. It was like probably the first time that I heard of that I was aware of that went like the Harry Potter route, where it was like you are literally experiencing the visuals of this, like as it's occurring. And no, it's cool. And I find the dynamic of the main character being this person who believes that he is above it all, despite still being a freshman high schooler.
He's like, I fucking love Kyon, dude. He is like legitimately one of the best characters purely because he is so fucking done with it all. Yeah. And he's just sitting there going, what the fuck is going on?
But he's such a hypocrite because he's actually enjoying every second of it deep down.
We see Disappearance.
Yeah.
Disappearance is one of my favorite.
Do that really good movie.
Manuel, shut the fuck up.
Manuel, what does he say?
He's saying do the Hara Yukai dance.
Yes, this is the anime that birthed the everyone has a cute girl dance. That's why Lucky Star had it the following the following year when it decided it would join the existence of this genre.
Also because they're both Joanne points, but I feel like I should probably talk about the other 5 series I got here.
Okay. I'll just wrap up the last 10 minutes in.
You can keep going.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the last the Endless 8. It has nothing to do with the fact that everybody got really like into it. It's really good. I think the Endless 8 was just a bit of foresight or maybe the most epic trolling of any animation studio. But the reason that this didn't make my list was that someone literally took Haruhi Suzumiya's like whole premise and turned it into a fanfic called My Little Dashi. And I was like, There's no way. So I lined up both the intro episode and what?
I'm fucking sorry. Run that one by me again. I am.
Oh, My Little Dashi is a fanfic made about like I don't know, some weird ass kid who like has what's it called, Rainbow Dash show up in reality, and is literally following a very Kyon centric storyline. And I realized that as it's going on, it's kind of doing the same thing. Not to say that it's specifically it, but this boy meets girl type scenario was probably perfected in anime, or at least concentrated the right amount with Haruhi, but by the time I saw what this particular trope does in other forms of media, I was just kind of turned off by just how bad and how it took so much inspiration from the intro of Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya that my brain just overloaded in that moment. And I was like, why do bronies gotta like do that? Like, what?
Josh, I think fuck you, Josh. You ruin everything I ever loved.
If I didn't do it, Manuel was gonna like spring in here to do that to one of our shows.
Hey, so did you know about My Little Tenchi? Immediately leaves the call. Okay, so Love is War. Love is War was a series that I actually watched because I promised one of my friends, hey, if you watch Haruhi, I'll watch Love is War. Love is War is one of the few 10s I have on my anime list. I have 5.
My wife would like to say that you came up plus in that deal. She's not a big fan of the Melancholy after watching, but she definitely loves Love is War.
Okay, this show is... Hey, Manuel? Shut up. This series is a very interesting one, because like the first 2 episodes, the first season and a half, you're like, oh, it's just a rom-com. Okay, it's not really going to be anything special. And then the second half of the second season starts, and you're like, wow, hold on. These characters are really well done. And then around, like, season 3, you start thinking, wait, hold on. This shit might be peak. And then, like, you watch... and then, like, I watched First Kiss, and that, like, made me realize why I like this series so much. It isn't a rom-com at its core. The focus isn't the romance. The focus is the characters. Like, specifically, I don't want to talk about spoilers, but
have we all not seen it all?
I haven't seen the movie. I've seen up to the end of season 3.
Okay, well then I can't mention the scene I was going to talk about. It's season 4, episode 1, but there's a very specific scene that like made my brain click and go, wait, no, hold on. This is actually really well done. And like I ended up really liking almost all the characters, except for Chika. She's kind of whatever. She's at least got a fun dynamic with not Shirogane.
Okay.
Also,
go ahead.
For reference, everything here except for Lain and Perfect Blue were watched in dub. I feel like it's a very important distinction to make. Wait, no, not Perfect Blue. Lain and OddTaxi were watched in dub. So, with Haruhi, I am used every single time I hear Crispin Freeman, I am cursed to hear Kyon. I was watching the Ghost in the Shell 2 theatrical re-release, and I just heard Togasa, and I just thought, hey...
Yeah, that's the same voice actor.
Yeah, it was Crispin Freeman. Like, all I was thinking during the theater was, is that Crispin Freeman?
Just believe he grew up to join this future robotic society after Haruhi did something that, like...
Haruhi created said robotic society. She got bored.
She then turned herself into a male and became the Laughing Man.
I mean,
okay.
I know we do see the Laughing Man, don't we? I was gonna say,
we
never actually see him, but we do.
I'm bringing it up with Love is War because the dub is very known for like changing a lot of humor, but from what I know, the characters were kept the same in the dub. So it's not like the character drama, the character stuff I'm talking about is like removed. It's just like, localized.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. Keep going. It's your thing. Talk about it. Wait, did my stream freeze up? Okay. We're unfrozen, it seems. It seems you just froze up for a second.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Love is War is a very well done series it's also very like funny as hell. I would say season 4 is a bit less funny. I would say season 3 is peak humor. Season 4 is peak characters, I would say. It's kind of like that setup.
Yeah, as it shifts from the comedic to the more dramatic, or shifts more to focus on that.
When I finished season 4, I sat there just thinking, but I want more. So I think that's a pretty good sign of the anime being pretty good.
Yeah. No, Josh, did you have anything to say before I start talking?
Oh, it's really good. I saw all of it in 2024, and it was, I'll definitely say peak, really good humor, but I don't want to, like, I literally just consumed all of it, so I have nothing to argue, but then at the same time, I'm like, this would have been on my list, but I also thought, I think it might be a little bit too early. Might be a little bit too early to say, but it is definitely good.
I just wanted to make sure I had my 5/10s on here. I didn't want to, like, leave any of those out, so...
Yeah.
I had to throw them on here because seasons 3 and 4 are what I have labeled as 10s on Mal. I have an 8 for season 1 and season 2 is a 9.
Yeah, I'm just speaking as someone who hadn't seen like the final season. But I thought even going off like the first episode, it had a really intriguing premise just because of the way it's kind of framing their mind games and how that kind of relates to like the adolescent anxiety you have of trying to express your feelings and trying to get that across without actually having to say it, because as they point out, whoever goes first is at the disadvantage. So
and the fact that
no, keep going.
The fact that throughout the series they like slowly go, wait, that's a really fucking stupid that's a really stupid ass rule, and that's the other thing I like. You're seeing them just eventually go, I give up. I don't care anymore. I just want to be with you. That's what it is, basically.
Yeah, and I think in that way it kind of captures that weird teenage angst that honestly stuck with me for most of my 20s as well, in just dealing with your emotions and that kind of thing and trying to express yourself. And that's why I really liked it even from the start.
This was a series I watched very recently. Most of these were watched over the last 6 months.
I mean, by default, I had to be older than you are now when I watched it, and I still felt really relatable to that. Yes, thank you for making us all feel old.
I'm not trying to make you feel old. I'm just saying, like, for reference, a lot of these were like, actually, I think all of these were watched in the last year and a half. Last 2 years was when all of these were watched. Okay.
It reminded me of the quote in Ghosts of Girlfriends Past with Matthew McConaughey, where he says, power in a relationship lies with whom cares least. And it's really just talking about his own insecurity, about what happens when he's vulnerable in love and never wanting somebody else to take advantage of that. But at the same time, eventually becoming distant enough that he hurts people that are close to him. So,
Lightning Final Fantasy 13.
Okay.
We'll get to that soon. Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann.
Okay, Gurren Lagann was another series that I promised a friend to watch, and oh my god, Gurren Lagann was so good. I'm a firm defender of the second half.
The second half is good. It just need to be in a movie.
I mean, they did put it in a movie, and then they made it even more awesome.
Dumbass. But you know, Gurren Lagann was another series that I went into. Okay, for reference, I knew about Gurren Lagann from a video on Kirby Planet Robobot and a song in DDR.
I'm just wondering how a song in DDR relates to Gurren Lagann.
The song Trust is written as like from Gurren Lagann.
Oh, okay.
So first thing I knew about Gurren Lagann was Yoko Littner existed.
That's many people's first introduction.
Then I played Smash Crusade and she was there, and I was like just trying to process what I was looking at. Anyway.
Same for most people when they first saw her.
Anyway, Final Fantasy... Gurren Lagann, I need to stop. Okay, Gurren Lagann, really cool mechas. I fucking love Gainax. As you can see from one of my other ones, Gainax is a very interesting one. I'm not talking about Gainax today. I'm talking about Gurren Lagann. I just really like the characters. I don't really know how to like boil down of, man, this shit was so peak, because I wouldn't say it was peak. I have it at an 8. I had issues. But I still think that the characters really like held this one up. Like, I really like Simon as a character. I like I really do like Yoko as a character, just constantly being someone who's trying to fucking be a therapist. Not be a therapist, she's just constantly trying to help, basically. Rocio was an interesting one, like, specifically in the second half, where I can't talk about what happened in the second half. Unless we've all seen Gurren Lagann.
I've seen Gurren Lagann.
I've seen Gurren Lagann and the movie versions.
Basically, the fact that him and Simone are constantly thinking about how to handle the threat from the Spiral King that they mentioned is a very interesting thing. The characters were what like made me like the series so much, and it wasn't the mecha fights. Like I've learned I'm a really big fan of like characters. Like I like it when the characters are good, because I could gladly have a shitty plot where it's just the characters being characters. Like again, that's why I like Haruhi, that's why I like Love is War, that's why I like Gurren Lagann. Also, Gurren Lagann just has like really good music. Please, Shoko Nakagawa, I need to listen to more of her music. The fucking Happily Ever Afters in my playlist, or Ira Days in my playlist. Shit's so good. Anyway, watch Gurren Lagann. It is very well. It is really good. So, Serial Experiments Lain.
Oh, I wanted to say more about Gurren Lagann before we moved off that.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah. Gurren Lagann is definitely one of the greatest mech series ever made. Like, even if you just want to see them fight, it just takes it to like certain levels of epicness that nothing else will ever, I think, match.
I didn't even talk about the mechas. The mechas are so cool. I love
the absurdity is definitely a good point to this anime.
Yeah, it understood that it was going to be absurd, and it just kept going to the next point, just pushing it one more, seeing how far it could go, until they're literally throwing like universes at each other.
Yeah, no, also the anti-spiral as a whole was a really cool like concept. I like the concept of like I'd rather continue to grow and make mistakes instead of constantly stay in stasis. So that's basically what it was. That's something the indomitable human spirit.
Yes, believe me, the amount of times I've referenced Gurren Lagann just in random other places, like D&D campaign, having to convince someone to do something that's going to be difficult. It's just that, oh yeah, we keep putting one step forward, just turning it like a drill one more time. We'll eventually push through that rock.
Staring directly at my D&D person who is currently struggling with the fact that NPC died. Believe in the Simone that believes in you. That is such a... Also, yeah, Gurren Lagann is a very like pick yourself up series. Like it is so good. One of my friends, I've been trying to get him to watch it whenever he's like going into like a bit of a depression. I just tell him, please watch Gurren Lagann. Try to use that as something to like help a bit. Obviously not like a spiraling one, but more just like
spirals.
I don't know, if you're watching series that are explicitly making you shut up. If you're watching a series that is explicitly making you depressed, watch Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, I really like to think back to how when what's it called? When Kamina says what's it called, grit your teeth, Simone, it just reminds me of what's it called, clench your butt cheeks, kid, from My Hero.
Also, I played this game, and then I watched the show, and then immediately went to play Persona 3 Portable, and then I heard Michelle Ruff as Yukari, and my brain like rewired.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of things.
Again, dub voice actors. All I heard whenever I heard Simone was Yosuke Persona 4.
Okay. Has Kylie Bear been in something in Persona?
He was the artist.
Yeah, he's Gohan.
He was the artist in Persona 5.
He was Madarame?
Really?
Yeah, he was Madarame.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Madarame's voice actor.
Okay.
That's Kyle Herbert.
I thought it was he pronounced the French way, but doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All roads lead to Persona. But yes.
Eventually, yes. So moving on?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Serial Experiments Lain. I don't remember what my theme for this row was. I think it was series I picked up on a whim. And I decided to actually watch. Like, these are just like whim series that I end up really liking. Okay, so Serial Experiments Lain is really funny for me. It's not a funny series. However, I have brought this... This is not one of my favorites. However,
No, man, you have to spell it cereal like Frosted Flakes is cereal.
Ballin'.
And we already made this joke 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because I brought the series up then.
Sorry, I'm just telling Manuel that he's repeating a joke, and a joke is rarely as funny the second time.
Oh, just realized the joke he made. Serial Experiments Lain is a very interesting series because existentialism. Would we say existentialism with the series?
I'm not existentialism. I'm not versed enough in philosophy to tell you.
That's probably the wrong term, but it's a really well done series that's very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is a mystery that is constantly running. I don't understand what happened in points of it. However, I was never legitimately criticizing the series for not explaining stuff. The pieces were there. It is if there are any issues I had, if I'm correct, it is my fault for not understanding. Because I hadn't been paying enough attention. It is a series you cannot just throw on in the background. It is a series you need to be paying attention to. And I understood the majority of what was going on. And I feel like the twists in it were really well executed.
Mm-hmm.
I legitimately don't want to spoil Lain. However, there is one specific thing that I keep referencing this series when I'm criticizing other media. Like, there's a specific point in Sword Art Online that is has a similar theme to Lain. And all I thought during it was, okay, but Lain did it better. I'm watching Sword Art Online for the first time currently.
Yeah. No, keep going if you got something, Andrew.
The other thing is, like I mentioned, I'm playing Final Fantasy 13. It sucks. But the damn game will constantly throw words at you and then explain in a data log instead of telling you in the fucking cutscenes. And all I did was bitch about this and say, at least when Lain did it, it was a mystery on what one specific term meant. With what the wired was. I was constantly going, I wonder what that is.
Oh,
Instead of, why are you throwing all these terms at me? What's going on? What does this mean?
Okay, maybe it's just because I'm older than you are and had to deal with more directly wired internet. But I at least thought I originally.
Oh, no, I knew the wired was similar to the internet, but I'm pretty sure there's something more to it.
Okay. It's I just used to understand it as the internet, at least from when I remember watching it more than a decade ago.
It's kind of the internet, if I'm right, but I think it might just be the fact that, again, Serial Experiments Lain is confusing, but Lain is really good.
Yeah, and I really liked it because it kind of looks at how people would deal with the internet and in ways that, at least, once again, it's been a decade since I watched it, really resonate today in some different ways, in the same way that Perfect Blue kind of did online stalking and harassment and that kind of stuff.
Talks about how the general populace's opinions online can shift reality.
Yeah.
Which, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
okay, so these last three are actually kind of heavy, so I'm gonna actually have to explain what's going on, aren't I? Okay. Does anyone want to say anything else about Lain?
Watch it. If you can. I'm not entirely sure where it is. If I know where it is by the time
it isn't.
It isn't online. Oh,
unfitting for the series.
Okay. But yeah, if you can find it on DVD at your local library or borrow it from a friend, watch it. Really great series.
It's got the Titus card from Final Fantasy X.
All right.
Anyway, Evangelion. I have known about this series for years at this point. For obvious reasons, being in the anime community, even vaguely, you know what Evangelion is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, minor thing I forgot to say about Lain. The community, despite the series being incredibly very somber and takes itself very seriously, are a bunch of massive shit posters, and they're actually kind of funny, so I'm fine with them.
Oh yeah, I think that's just what a TV show would call it, the inverse law of fandom levity.
I was gonna say the more serious the series is, the less serious the fan base is.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about the Evangelion fan base. They scare me. Okay, so Evangelion is a very well done series because, again, it kind of feels those characters, yada 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 yada. But it was a series that I watched it over last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And the main takeaway I got from it was just, wow, that shit was pretty good. And that's the majority of what I remember, because it's another one of the kind of confusing ones. Oh wait, that's the pattern I did. A bit if you have to kind of pay attention during these shows.
I'm so surprised you didn't move Perfect Blue or OddTaxi down. I guess OddTaxi is more straightforward, but
OddTaxi fits somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But Evangelion's a very interesting one purely because of what it is, which is a deconstruction of the mecha genre, something. I haven't seen many mecha anime. I've seen 4, and one of them's a parody, and the other's a deconstruction. But I do appreciate it dealing with like the actual like what would this do to someone. And also, I just think the characters are really fun. Like I really like the characters.
Except you, Asuka, or is that just me?
Wow, you really hate Asuka. What did Asuka do to you?
I just didn't like her personality that much. I didn't like how she was always angry at people. Like I understand where it's coming from psychologically. Really it's just had I she been in my life, I would just not wanted anything to do with her.
After what she's angry because of what the show did to her, like both off screen and on screen.
After everything this fucking show puts them through, I don't care if they explode. It's fully reasonable. And also, I'm tired of people going, so were episodes 25 and 26 canon? Yes. Now shut up and watch them. I hate how many people say, oh, watch episodes 1 through 24, then end of. And then don't watch episodes 25, 26. They were garbage. Fuck are you talking about? I like that more than End of Evangelion.
Interesting.
I like the more psychological stuff, like showing how they truly wish it would be. Again, characters. That's kind of what that one did, so I appreciated it. And I do genuinely like that it's a much less somber ending than, by the way, fuck you, even if you conquered your fears.
Yeah, I feel like Evangelion is one of those series along with like Gundam where you can see exactly where the creator is in his like mental health arc as the new works come out.
Yeah, no, I'm just like God's greatest defender of episodes 25 and 26 because I've seen so many My Anime List questions of watching order. Oh, watch episodes 1 through 24, watch End of, then watch episodes 5 through 26. No, what are you talking about? Watch the damn show first, then End of. For God's, it's not that hard to understand.
Let's just follow the material as it released. There's a lot to like dissect from Ano-san's mind, and it is definitely worth it. I mean, I didn't get to experience its original run, but I did get to watch it on Netflix, compromised as it was. But I mean, it still seemed pretty direct. I had heard things about how it's not really about the mecha fighting. That just happens to be a little bonus. But I mean, seeing how Shinji deals with his grief and neglect, and then by extension, Asuka with her grief and neglect, understanding how they both meant together, understanding also that most of the people in both of their lives had failed them, and also Rei, but Rei's a very special case. Rei? Unless you want to get like what's it called, meta with the movies that follow.
Yeah, have you seen the Rebuild movies?
I haven't seen the Rebuild movies. They are kind of on the list, but not too prioritized.
I haven't seen the last two. I've not seen the last two.
I've got to watch Welcome to the NHK.
Okay.
And so, well, that one's a really good one. A little too real, but definitely a good one. But the what's it called? Yeah, no, by the time we finally got that ending sequence of 26, 25, it's just kind of like, yeah, there are different routes of approaching things. We don't have to get too multiversal about it, but I mean, definitely there's different ways that you could approach your own life, end up in different circumstances. Also, it is very sad that the one loving person, asterisk, in what's it called, Shinji's life had to get pretty much disemboweled by him an episode before we actually got to the end.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, that does happen.
That was definitely the, I guess, I don't say jumping off point, the like final straw that kind of broke Shinji leading into that. But it is also very interesting just to like learn the production and how 25 and 26 are basically just because we're out of money and we need to make these episodes. Let's at least try to do something. It's interesting in seeing like how people work with the restrictions they have and to make art.
You can definitely feel Ano's anger when End of Evangelion's out there. Oh my god, holy shit.
Yeah, no, End of was a much more like physical one, but before I watched Eva, I was warned, hey, episode 25 and 26 are not what's physically going on. They're what's mentally going on. And I went, okay. And I understood it immediately because it's kind of obvious when you think about it. Why would he suddenly be in a random room?
Yeah. Yeah. But I can also understand, like, from a point, the kind of frustration that doesn't really wrap up a lot of the plot that had been going on to that. It's just, okay, here's Shinji's mental state, and that is the only thing we're focusing on at this moment. If you just wanted to see, like, the wrap up to the other plots with the angels and things, I can kind of understand being frustrated with that.
But that's why
some of it is completely overblown about that, especially now that we have like End and the rebuilds.
Which, if I'm right, End was like a year after the series ended, so it's like it wasn't ever really a reasonable anger.
Well, I can understand if it hadn't been announced at that time that they weren't going to do anything. It's like,
I guess.
That's the end of it? Wow, that was unconclusive.
That was just a bunch of cheap walk cycles.
Okay.
Okay, I should probably talk about Code Geass now.
If you don't, Josh
will. Okay, so Code Geass is a silly little... I need to stop starting series I need to stop describing stuff like that.
Code Geass is Clamp's peak fiction.
And it's not even
out
the
entirety.
But Code
also,
Geass
I will have hand with you in calling it Clamp's peak fiction because that is X.
Okay, I brought that up last week, but I mean,
yes.
come on. 2 weeks ago, but yeah.
Code Geass is a very interesting anime that I spoke to people who watched it and they were like constantly telling me flaws in it, and I was like going, yeah, that's fair. And I like actually lowered the rating on it. Then I thought about it and realized, wait, no, hold on. None of those really detracted from my enjoyment. So I put season 2 back at a 10.
Okay.
But so the thing with Code Geass is it was an anime I legitimately just randomly thought to watch, and I was hooked. It is would we say political intrigue?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It radicalized me. It's definitely political.
Political intrigue anime, but fictional politics. Some morally, not even morally gray, just villain as a protagonist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's very more black and white than it would seem. You're either... Yeah.
He's like blowing up an entire building just to deal with like one person. But
could have had some gray area if we had more EU and China related stuff, but they were just kind of just there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. When you said EU first, I thought you meant expanded universe in like the Star Wars terminology before it was Legends. It's like then you meant Europe. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Code Geass is a very I keep cycling back. Okay. Very interesting anime. It is like 50 episodes long. I'd say it's paced pretty well. And the people who constantly like lament the fact that there's the school festival episodes don't understand the fact that you need a breather. Like you legitimately cannot have, I do not personally believe you can have an anime that is 50 episodes long without at least like one break from everything going on. You probably could if it was like really well written. But again, Code Geass has flaws. But there were like I would say the twists were pretty decently done. Nothing really feels ass-pully, except for like probably one or two things that I can't even think of. I just know something has to feel ass-pully. But it is a very well done series, and I feel like it deserves all the praise it gets. Like
that's great music.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 3 good openings, and then openings 2 and 3.
Honestly, the only one I remember right now is Colors, and then running in my head from Rose the recapture.
Oh, I haven't watched Rose or the Resurrection movie yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
even the OST is really good.
Oh yeah, the OST is really good too. Code Geass is I don't even like calling it a mecha anime. It is, but it's
yeah. I've had this like talk with other people in like my anime club before. It's just like, does it count as a mech anime? And yes, it's a mech anime in the same way that the original Gundam is a mech anime. It takes a lot of cues from the original Gundam. Like, you can pretty much map a lot of Lelouch's personality onto Char Aznable, both being like the dispossessed prince who becomes like the masked figure working with one of the factions for his own ends.
That's Star Wars.
You're right, but...
That's just Final Fantasy 12.
But a lot of like there are a lot of like characters who draw inspiration directly from Char, and I see that after watching the original Gundam. And it's like, oh yeah, that's where Lelouch gets a lot of this like parts of his personality. But he's just like hamming his cranked up to 11 with it too.
Yeah, no. Again, I watched this in dub, and I feel like anyone who watches the series for the first time, if they're able to, should probably watch it in dub. Purely because John Young Botch and Yuri Lowenthal do their roles so well as Lelouch and Suzaku. Like, I am legitimately cursed now whenever I hear fucking Johnny Young Botch. I will immediately assume, holy shit, Lelouch.
I actually, and watching this, I watched this originally in Japanese.
Oh, that's fair. I'm not saying Japanese version is bad.
No.
I'm just saying.
It's just that I guess Taniguchi, Goro Taniguchi, when he was directing this, like picked actors who wouldn't be like thought of as that role, to kind of breaking typecasting. And so he cast Jun Fukuyama as Lelouch. And so when I go see like other pieces and I hear, oh, hey, that's Jun Fukuyama's voice, but now he's playing a completely comedic character. Like none of like Lelouch's like menacing, his intelligence. Like he's like Koro Sensei in Assassination Classroom. And he's
Bryan
just
Cranston
like
from fucking Modern Family to Breaking Bad.
Yeah, no, Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, basically that kind of effect. If you had just seen Bryan Cranston in Malcolm in the Middle and then went to Breaking Bad, or I guess the other way around and kind of expected him to be playing the same kind of character, you'd be very surprised. Like the same kind I was hearing Jun Fukuyama in other roles.
But that's my praise for Code Geass, and first time I was here, the incident did happen.
Oh, now I have to go find it for the clip just to play it again. 4.
The day the world stood still.
No,
the day a star was born. Oh fuck!
No, you were so close, fuck. Josh. The day a new demon was born. The first episode of Code Geass.
The day a new demon was born.
Yes. The day you missed. The day a new demon was born.
Okay, so like.
All right, let's move on to Josh's. Sorry, I'm just gonna.
Yes. So I will pick up with Code Geass again.
Where is it?
So, what's it called? So either way,
I thought that'd be the one thing we share. What's the thing we share?
Code Geass.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, he picked a different cover for it.
Okay, I picked season 1s. I normally tried to pick season 1s.
So thankfully, I picked a different cover because that makes it awesome. We have the what's it called? The Macbeth introductory with the first episode. Very, very nice. Definitely enjoyed that imagery. Very specific also. Demon, witch, nice. I will say that it did also ruin it for me hearing Lelouch and then opposite Suzaku with us having Yuri Lowenthal and it's called Johnny Young Bosch as they would later do this. Yes, Adachi and what's it called? Yosuke.
He's also a voice actor.
Weapon?
Yeah.
Also the main character's voice actor.
Yeah, but that didn't come till later. So
no, it was in PS2.
No. What I'm saying is that Johnny Young Bosch didn't have to compromise his voice for Adachi in the original. What happened was after they decided they were going to make the anime for Persona 4, they told Johnny Young Bosch, you are voicing both characters. And he was like, could you just get someone else to be the protagonist? And they said, no, you're going to do both voices.
I mean, considering that, I don't want to spoil Persona 4 randomly in the middle of a stream, but it makes sense why it's the same voice actor.
Okay, now I have to play Persona 4. Thank you.
Yes, you do.
From a game perspective, it definitely does.
From a plot perspective, it does.
It can too, but it definitely hits you more playing the game. But then also, I just love it. I just love it still. I love that he voiced himself and also Adachi in what's it called? Blaze Blue Cross Tag. But no, I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the horny. I enjoyed the scenes of people dying when I didn't think that they would die, and I was like, no way. I enjoyed the cliffhangers, especially when I later learned that they had no confirmation of a season 2, so they gave us the most cliffhanger
with that ending.
Yeah, no, it was the most cliffhanger that ever did cliffhanger endings. That's why so much stuff happens within the last 2 to 3 minutes of the anime, because they were like, we gotta sell this so hard. Also, JD, you like burst my mind when you made the Char reference, because all I was gonna do was interject and say like, guys, it's co-produced by Bandai. Of course, it's a mecha.
Oh no, it's also by Sunrise, who does Gundam.
Sunrise is the mecha studio.
Yeah, especially with the death of Gainax.
Well, now I'm checking my computer to see who did the Gundam anime. I think it was
the what?
Sunrise. Who does Gundam anime? Well,
yeah, Sunrise.
Well,
they also had, for a time, they had the entirety of season 1 on Bandai's YouTube. there to watch in dub. Not season 2 for some reason, but season 1 was there in its entirety back in the day, and I was like, wow. No, I like season 2. I do feel that season 2 adopted power scaling, which is always going to be weird because then it means only specific people are actually going to be strong in combat, especially when it was a very tactical show in the first season, and the second season very much was like, we can't do tactics in 360, so like we're just going to do the best we can. By the time you have things that actually know how to fly, it was like, okay, cool beans.
Are we still talking about Kaguya-sama?
Yes.
I just wanted to get those things out of the way too.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that we didn't swap to a series, and I was just confused.
No,
okay.
If you're watching the stream, I should have whatever he's talking about highlighted. I've done my best to make that, and so that moves around.
So speaking of the only other place to go would be space. So we have Outlaw Star, my favorite anime. It's got anything. Weapon? Oh, that's the one with the red-haired guy.
The things on your series are that I don't recognize.
Oh, okay. Oh, should I name them all, or should I just like,
do it when
name
you
them as I go along? Okay. Well, Outlaw Star is my all-time favorite anime, as I saw it in my very, very formative years, in which it had everything in space: cat girls, magic guns. We don't have mechs, but we have mech spaceships, and a lot of early trope things, which at the time, early me was like, I really enjoy all these things. You know, you have your typical group of bad guys, all of them in varied form, and the voice performances for this show back in the day were actually not bad. So I was like, okay, cool beans. And in fact, if not for this show, we would not have had Bebop, since technically, as much as I like to say I enjoyed this show over Bebop, this was released 1997, 1990. No, this was 1998, and then in 1999 we got Cowboy Bebop by Sunrise, same studio and everything. But by this point in time, they actually figured out a lot more with their animation, and they probably had a better idea of what they wanted to do. Excuse me. That was not anything. They had a better idea for what they were doing with Bebop in its episodic format versus the normal like serialized format that they had. Not to mention a lot less stuff was half baked, but I still really enjoy the show. I still really enjoy the characters, and yeah, pretty awesome.
Could you give us a good description of the show, like plot wise, how it kicks off?
Oh, plot wise. We have a duo of Gene Starwind and his
sidekick, his buddy, Jim Hawking.
Sidekick Jim. Yeah. And the main thing that they have at first is that for all of his talk, Gene does not like to be in space because his dad died on their way into space. So he has to overcome that, then has to overcome the fact that he just picked up a very valuable ship that both criminals and the government want their hands on. In the meantime, after he gets it, it just becomes a bunch of space adventures with him picking up more companions or comrades as the show goes along. I just want to be sure I didn't confuse the meaning between the two words. And this involves working for either other friends of his that he has, gaining money, always being in debt, always doing bounties or random odd jobs to stay afloat in space, while trying to uncover the mystery of Melfina, the woman who came packed with the ship that, when he obtained it, was very much like, I don't know where I'm from. It looks like I might be a part of this great thing that Hilda, the person that he was getting the ship from, kind of like the mentor character that he has for like the first 2 episodes until she has to pass away, because she is a mentor character and we can have no good things in this lifetime. But it is through this that Melfina remembers, I believe that all I have to do is be sent to the Grand Line, where there is an amazing treasure that we can like get. No way, it's called the Galactic Ley Line, where there is a treasure, and I'm pretty sure that One Piece won't do this. The treasure is God. The Galactic Ley Line is a giant gate that keeps you from the collective unconscious. And that collective unconscious can grant you anything you want.
So is your top row just series that deal with the collective unconscious then?
Oh, right. Okay, well, this is also important. Yes, it does. So pivoting over to the only reason that we don't have weapon.
Oh, you haven't seen Fullmetal Alchemist?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest.
Alchemist?
List of stuff I've seen on here. There are 3.
There are 3 things you have seen.
Okay, Code Geass, obviously. I'm gonna say you've seen at least enough of Pokemon to say you've seen it.
Yeah, that's one of the 3. And JoJo's Part 4.
Okay.
So without getting into more spoilers for our third one, the Fullmetal Alchemist is the only reason that Attack on Titan is not on this list. Because I was very close to putting Attack on Titan on this list, because Attack on Titan is fucking amazing. But the reason I put this one over it was just because in terms of shonen-based anime, I do find that Full Alchemist is peak. It has great characters in it. It has such great writing. Its flow is good in all 3 of its forms, both the manga version, the 2003 version, and Brotherhood.
Okay, I was about to ask if this was specifically 2003, or you were meant like the series in total.
Well, in the series in total. 2003, I still like. It's well-paced for still what it was. The manga was not done at the time, and wouldn't be done for another 7 years. So they just wanted to have one of these things out. It's one of the first animes I watched at that point. I enjoyed watching both that and Brotherhood, which was completed. And it was funny because they literally had the ending of the manga come out maybe about like a month before the actual anime was also going to end. But yeah, no, it's got great fights also. The animation is amazing in these versions. The music is phenomenal. My favorite intro is in 2003 with Rewrite. As much as the intros that came afterwards in Brotherhood are also pretty freaking amazing. Now, I don't want to take away too much from Attack on Titan and saying that this one definitively beats it overall. I just think that this one I had a lot more time to really consume and enjoy and even follow when it actually ended. But I do want to say that if I had to compare and say that when it comes to most shonen-based anime, where it just gets you really pumped seeing some really cool stuff happen, for me, it's Fullmetal Alchemist. So yeah.
Add a fly to your food for not adding it.
It's his girlfriend. Wife? You keep referring to his wife. Are you actually married, or are you just being kind of cute?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, all the yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a fly to your food for not adding Attack on Titan, which is valid because Attack on Titan is her favorite end-all be-all show, and I'm not rubbing anything away from it. If anything, even if we had to compare animation-wise, it's going to be Attack on Titan. The stuff Studio Wit did was phenomenal, and where Studio Mappa, what's it called, decided to turn in, was still not sleeping. They were still doing a phenomenal job as well. But this is just more of a personal vote for me. Otherwise, this would very much still be AOT instead of Full Metal.
Yeah. Yeah, I say that is definitely something to consider when talking about these series. That both FMAs came out in just like one continuous run. Attack on Titan took 13 years across like 5 series and 2 specials. But yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist, definitely a like giant pillar of shonen, especially for anime fans in the early 2000s. I remember staying up late to watch like episodes on Adult Swim, and the only one I remember from the original run of the 2003 one is the one in the city with like the cat burglar. And that's only because of the location where she puts like her alchemy seal, and like Ed accidentally copying the feel.
Which you can only see in 2003.
Yes. Okay.
What's on my list? I'm gonna pull that up while this goes.
Do you want to keep talking about FMA, or do you want to move on to your next one? Because we are at about where we have 20 minutes. You still have 6 to go through.
FMA.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is Toradora, my favorite romance comedy anime, if not just romance anime. And that's after watching also still a lot of really good romance anime with my amazing wife. A lot of them like have come really close to knocking this thing off. Like, do not get me wrong, Horimiya is a really, 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 really good romance anime. And I like that second season just gives us more of what we already enjoyed from the first season. It feels like they are one season because you have the 12, 13 episodes that go to they can go hand in hand, which is going to be the same runtime with Toradora. But I find Toradora to just be a very, very honest and direct show. Even in the English dub, as much as you can tell that for some of these people, it's just a really weird script with how they put it together. But I just love the effort put into it. I enjoy the music. This show has made me cry, and I like just out of nowhere. It's just so well placed together. Its music is incredible. Its characters are amazing. And then there's just a little bit of it that still just kind of hits close to home, just in its relatability, not necessarily in that I lived this show, not necessarily. And everybody does a really good job. JYB's still here. We've got what's it called? Cassandra Lee Morris, and what is probably her legendary role. Everyone thinks of her as Palm Top, as well as in the Japanese dub, where everyone knows. Katie, help me. What's the name of the Japanese voice actress? Who is very much the tsundere queen voiced person after this role, and then also in what was that one with the sword? And
Shakugan no Shana?
Yes, there we go. And thank you. But yeah, no, I really enjoy that. And then wait, what here have you seen though, Andrew?
Oh, I have seen Code Geass. I've seen Pokemon. I've seen I'd assume you're talking about Diamond is Unbreakable down there, which true, that is the best part.
Yes.
And I've
This is battle tendency erasure, and I will not stand for it.
Wait, what'd you say?
This is battle tendency erasure, and I will not stand for it.
Is your favorite ice cream flavor vanilla?
No, it's hooked on chocolate.
Battle Tendency was my favorite before Diamond is Unbreakable.
Battle Tendency is good, but like I feel anyway. And I've read a few volumes of Maison Ikkoku, which I see is up next.
Oh
yes,
yeah,
I'm a Takahashi head.
Yeah, can I add one thing for Toradora? I think you would really like it if you haven't seen it or you haven't seen it, Andrew. I think it is very similar in the kind of look into its characters. Like why?
Do I have Toradora on the list? I do have it on the list.
Okay, yeah. Like why Taiga is like this very like tsundere person, or why he, is it Ryuichi? It's something having to do with dragons. Yeah. Why he's the way he is because of the way his family life is like has all that going on, and he has like the face of a thug, though he's like a kind person. It's just their interactions, how they grow. Yeah, that's all I want to say. I think you would like it. Just going by what you said.
Manuel, I'm holding a copy of Final Fantasy 13. It's by my computer, and I'm doing this.
Okay. Maison Ikkoku.
He asked that in chat, like confused.
Yeah, because you are just randomly holding it. If you hadn't heard,
it's on my computer. I just have it there, and I habitually pick this thing up for some reason.
It's a tick. Okay.
I guess.
Maison Ikkoku.
So, Maison Ikkoku is the best thing that Miko Takahashi has ever written, and that's not to say that I'm downplaying any of her other things. Maison Ikkoku is literally the best out of all of them. And again, I still like Rama 1/2. I still like Inuyasha. I still like Mermaid Wars. I still like what was it?
Mermaid Saga.
Mermaid Saga. My bad. Mermaid Saga. I still like Yatsure.
Urusei Yatsura. Urusei Yatsura.
Urusei Yatsure. Yeah. But no, I feel that everything that makes those stories good is here with absolutely none of the fantasy aspects, none of the horror aspects, none of the like extra fantastical stuff. It is here in its absolution. And I've read all of it. It maybe has like one volume or two that seems a little unnecessary, but it's great. I love it. I love the ending. I don't think any of it is necessarily rushed. I think she ended the story just the way she wanted. All the characters are real, like so real, except for that one creepy guy who lives there who's always doing weird shit, who's like going out to like, I don't know, do some job or something like that, but he's always just being a perv most of the time. Unless, of course, you just want to say, yeah, that's my other neighbor who's down to the other apartment. He acts just like him. Then I guess whatever. But all the characters are great. I feel that a lot of things that have to do with insecurities that appear in other characters, not necessarily just about like, how would I feel if this girl loves me or something? No, I mean like, how would this girl feel about me when I have My prospects in college may not be going well. I'm trying to do my best in work, but sometimes the market will just fuck me without me doing anything in particular about it. Why is it that there's this one person who looks literally like me and is a really awesome tennis coach that has all the aspects that I wish I had, and yet that person is still not a perfect like love rival thing, and probably doesn't even really like the main character's love rival. He just gets riled in because he's like, oh, this person has a thing for the main character. I recommend reading it. It's good. It's really good.
Maison Ikkoku might honestly be the Takahashi series. No, that's Rine, but my most experience with Takahashi series is probably Urusei Yatsura and Ranma, then Mao. Actually, Mao might be more than Ranma. Then Urusei Yatsura, Lights Just Flickered, Inuyasha, Rine. I should probably recheck out Maison Ikkoku because last time I read it was back in high school.
No, dude, reading this in like post high school, I think makes it very, very perfect.
But I think I just like read it at the wrong time, I guess. I'll probably recheck it out. I just am very personally attached to Ranma and Urusei Yatsura because Urusei Yatsura is the first manga I really started collecting. I've been not collecting, but I've been making sure to buy all the like special editions that they're currently printing when I find them. And Ranma was the first anime that made me really like anime.
It's still funny too to read. Like her comedy is there. She still be hitting. Like it's good.
Okay, I'll check it out one day.
And then we have My Dress Up Darling, which is a real big favorite to both me and my wife.
Yeah, I was about to ask if you'd pick that mostly because of her.
No, I loved it beforehand. It is amazing. I was also really, really, really big into cosplay beforehand too. So watching this in 2021 was pretty nice. Wait, no. Oh no, maybe it was 2022.
No, I think it was 20.
I got my timeline correct.
I think it was 2021.
2021, right? Yeah,
I think it was 2021 because then at San Diego Anime Con you interviewed the dub voice actor. 2022.
There we go. Yeah, 2021. So but yeah, no, it's really cute. It's also pervy. I'm a perv. If I like some pervy things, they're in there. But I also just like the sheer amount of like honesty that they had in actually putting like, hey, this is how we put a whole cosplay together. You get that con crunch that occurs, even if it's a little accidental at the beginning with Gojo. But at the same time, Gojo has a lot of conflicting things about his personal interests, let alone getting involved also with Marin Kitagawa. Marin Kitagawa is just amazing. She is such a vibrant character and awesome. The rest of the cast, pretty okay, but I like that we focus more on our main characters and the cosplay. And I find it just very relatable, especially after doing a lot of cosplay related stuff. What's it called? Before this anime came out. So to me, that's why that just is really nice. And lo and behold, Anna loves it too. And it's cosplayed from it, so it's nice. We get to do the couples cosplay and whatnot. Which is also, I mean, who doesn't want to cosplay with their partner or like do something that they can enjoy with their partner, see if your interests can like coincide with one another. Not that it's always gonna happen, but it's nice. It's a really nice story. And then we have Okemon.
I feel like anyone over like the age of maybe 30 definitely has to have this on theirs, or at least should consider it, just because it kind of formed a lot of people's opinions on anime.
Over the age of 30.
Oh, even under, but like this was a lot of people.
Yeah, I thought you meant under there, because like.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know exactly how old Josh is, but there's like a certain age where this was just like one of the only anime on like TV or available to people in the West that wasn't like Dragon Ball Z. It was like this, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon.
For some reason, Ranma also got localized really early. But yeah, no, you're right. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were like very formative for a lot of people. I was not on that train.
Yeah, and I mean, I laughed. I was captivated. I was sometimes just a dumb child brain, just consuming like episodic format stuff. That's all this was, which is probably perfect because all I watched was cartoons and shit
Mhm.
when I was young.
There's nothing wrong with episodic shows.
Nothing wrong. Definitely got really into the what's it called? The Pokemania when it happened. Because I was there. We were there. Like, this is all filler. This is literally just all filler. When we go back to, like, just think about the video games that, like, inspired it, that's just kind of all that it is. We're just really enjoying the vibes, and there are some really good classic episodes in the day. Some that made me cry also, as much as they made me laugh, or made me actually be on the edge of my seat. This is probably one of those things where, like, my...
Josh, I think you cut out there. Did you mute yourself, or?
Oh, he's still going.
Okay, no, yeah, we can't hear you, Josh, for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, there we go. There, can you hear me?
Yeah, you were saying you're on the edge of your seat, you're something, and you cut out.
Yes, I would be on the edge of my seat sometimes watching this because my parents would watch novellas. I would watch Pokemon every Saturday whenever they would have, like, new episodes. And I really feel that this is probably the best way of comparing it to any other show that also carried the same thing, whether it be this, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, and even Persona 4, because it was just giving me all those particular vibes. The power of friendship will get you through at the end of the day, whether it be with, like, little tiny Pokemon that for some reason church people thought were the devil, or digital monsters who literally dabbled really, really close with demonic shit more than Pokemon did. I'm surprised that the church people didn't go for that show.
I love Shin Megami Tensei.
Or Egyptian heresy with, like, summoning different things on an actual playmat, or just Satan himself in Persona, as you said, Andrew.
No, I'm just saying that the quote digital monsters that dabble with Satan a lot, that is legitimately just the plot of Megami Tensei.
Yeah, of Devil Survivor Series 2. Was
no, of like the first fucking game.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like it comes up in a lot of other ones as well. That
no, it's just a common concept of computer Satan.
Dudes, I was watching season 3 of Digimon, and they were literally having me cheer for the redemption arc of a character named Beelzemon.
As a devil put aside for me. For
me.
Oh, there's a bot. Kill him.
Yeah, I killed him. Don't worry.
Good job.
Okay.
So next we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I put Diamonds Unbreakable because it is my favorite part. But I was originally exposed to this through the fighting game on the Dreamcast for part 3.
Wow, okay.
Holy shit.
What?
What'd you just bring over?
Wait,
are you, like, showing it on your camera right now?
It's Jolene!
Yay, visual aid!
Visual.
This is the best anniversary gift, babe.
Oh, happy anniversary.
She just surprised you with it on air. Okay.
She knew.
Yeah.
And they just announced that Kira's going to be at AX, so get it signed.
Right, they're telling us to go to AX.
Well, I'm just saying that they just announced Kira for AX.
Yeah, Jolene of Part 6, and I really feel that Part 6 has a really nice cap for the universe that it's originally set in before 7 and 8, but I did not expect it. I did not expect the lineage to have such a nice story. I felt improved as it carried on. I definitely enjoyed fighting through the third game more than actually experiencing the third part, except for key moments. There are some really good moments in Part 3 that, like, were just so good. But Part 4, I mean, like, come on, Part 4, Andrew, like, join in with me on this, like.
Wait, can I go grab something quickly?
I assume he has a visual aid as well.
I've got to go grab Part 4.
Okay, while he's doing that, I'm just going to talk about my problems with Part 4. I don't like that for the first couple episodes or so often. It just feels like they know there's a serial killer on the loose. There's nothing anyone else can do. They're one of the few people who can do anything about it. And it's like, oh, yeah, let's go to an Italian restaurant. Or let's just completely ignore this and go off on some other wacky adventure.
Nice. You grabbed
My
Part
fucking
4.
limited run games copy finally. I got it like 2 weeks ago finally. And this shit is so fucking cool. It's, for reference, it's just the big collector's edition of Persona 4 Golden.
Okay, I was about to say.
Part 4 is just Persona 4.
It is, which is also why Persona 4 is not on this list.
Persona 4 might be Persona 4 is my favorite game of all time, so part 4 is obviously my favorite part.
Okay.
I almost put JoJo's on here. It's just I haven't finished the anime yet. I haven't finished part 5 yet, and I haven't finished part 6 yet. So that looks like Among Us.
It's really good. It's phenomenal. I recommend watching, but I also know that comes with the horde of people that are like, watch JoJo's, it's freaking amazing. And they're right, but the problem is that like I think the mind virus got to them that like makes them transcend to
Brainy
whatever
amoeba.
Gojo was when he died.
Okay. See, the JoJo's fanbase is why I clarified that the Lain fanbase is actually funny. The JoJo's fanbase isn't funny.
He
Can we
just
remove Manuel from the podcast, please? Like,
No,
permanently?
that's
that's
my
Manuel.
ranking.
And yes, I am
Can
one
we
of
remove
those
JD from
people. I am one of those people.
I am the podcast.
Okay, so I'm also God's greatest part 1 defender.
Look, I'm not
I
saying
like
any of
part
them
one a
are
lot
bad.
more.
That's just my order of enjoyment.
I guess part 1 is a very fun one. Like part 1 is very simple. It's very short,
Yes.
and that's why I like it. It's easily digestible.
Mhm.
I've consumed part 1 like 4 times. I just like Jonathan, and like every time I reconsume it, the more I enjoy it. Like when I finished part 1 originally, I thought it was meh. Then I watched the anime. I went, oh wait, no, that was actually pretty good. Then I reread the manga, and I went, wait, no, that was pretty good. And then I rewatched the anime. I went, wait, no, hold on. So part 1 might be my second favorite part out of the first 4. I haven't seen parts 5 or 6 yet. I like part 2 though. Don't worry.
So yeah, sorry, I derailed the
part
conversation
4.
by posting my listing.
No, it's fine. We're on the topic.
Yeah. Like the reason I prefer part 3 is just I feel it's a bit more linearly structured. Like I can tell that they're making progress in this thing for the first half because they're just getting closer to Egypt, closer to Dio. This one, it just feels like a bit more amorphous. Like they're kind of just messing around for the first bit, and then it kind of gets serious at the end.
I guess, but I feel like that just comes down to: do you want it to feel like filler or for it to be filler? I'd rather for it to be filler.
Okay.
Wait, no, for part 4, feel like filler.
Mm-hmm.
All the parts have their lovely stuff, their cast of characters, and the the good old yours is the spear that will yours is the drill that will pierce the heavens. All of them have their very much like good will overcome evil. We might lose some good friends along the way, but good will prevail.
JoJo's is very black and white with its morality, and I'm very happy about that.
And then the last one is Tenchi Muyo series. But I want to just add all of harems as a whole. This was the first harem I saw. It was the least horny when I was watching them because it was on Toonami. So they censored out a lot. But I just really enjoyed the shenanigans. I enjoyed the different girl characters and their various personalities. And that is why right now I am really enjoying the hell out of the 100 girlfriends that really, 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 really
I was
love
actually
you.
going to bring up 100 Girlfriends, because that's the only... I saw the first episode of it, and it seemed pretty funny, but I never actually sat down and watched it, because I've never been, like, big on harem anime for some reason. Probably just because I'm not big on, like, romance anime. JD knows this.
Yes.
But I want to, like, try... the main harem anime I've been recommended is Quince.
Sorry, what?
It's a good one.
Quintessential Quintuplets I got recommended.
Oh, yeah, I really like that one.
It's a good one.
So I might check that one out, but I've got other series to get to first, like Summertime Rendering.
Before, like, because I would always watch a new harem here and there, so it was really hard to be like, I'll have something top Tenchi, which premise of Tenchi is just simply that a space pirate or a demon, whichever route you're going, crashes into his life. His pretty much I'm only focused on school life. He doesn't have any of those extra like anxiety, or rather like not anxiety, anxiousness. Like, you know how we have a lot of protagonists that might be a little bit anxious about approaching a girl or something like that? Tenchi does not have that. And Tenchi is not driven by wanting to necessarily hook up with someone. He just simply has aliens or demon crash into his life, and slowly but surely, because of this one girl, there's a bunch of other people who probably are after the bounty on that one girl's head that arrive and later give hint to more fascination into the lineage of Tenchi's past, or are just simply there because Tenchi is just an all-around normal dude. But that's not to say that he is not interested in any of the particular characters. And no, he's definitely not into the lolly character. In fact, this is probably one of the few shows that doesn't go super hard into being like, yeah, let's throw in the lolly as a thing. But no, he actually has really good chemistry with the rest of the cast and has some really good moments. I love Tenchi in Tokyo. I feel it's the one where Tenchi gets to be the most of more of a character than he normally is in Muyo or in Universe. In Universe, he's got stoic down with not even trying to be stoic. It's just kind of who he is. And in a lot of these shows, they kind of outline. Yo, what are you gonna say? I thought you were gonna...
I was. This is just Harem Fully Coolly.
I think it predates Fully Coolly though.
I watched Fully Coolly, and that's all. When you said alien crashes into him, he's just a normal guy focusing on class, and all I thought was, this is just the plot of Fully Coolly, isn't it?
Yeah, but Naota's dealing with trauma. Like,
what trauma?
His brother's gone. I haven't seen it in a while.
His brother's alive.
His brother's not.
Yeah, he's in America, but he feels like he was in the shadow of his older brother.
Mm-hmm.
His
he
older brother's girlfriend.
Look, man, I binged the entirety of Fully Coolly in one sitting.
I think a lot of us did. It's 6 episodes.
It's 6 episodes, and I made the conscious decision to do that. And I watched it all in dub. It was good, but I don't know. It's Lain. Okay, anyway, sorry for derailing. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I feel Gaimax made that intentional because Tenchi did predate it. But yeah, no, a lot of the aspects that I think later show up in other harem-based anime, like, hey, it's the end of our season, let's have our protagonist go and save the main girl because something's going on, or hey, there's just a bunch of random shenanigans that we're going to have without an actual consensus on the plot. Though that is just because Tenchi Muyo was never finished. Originally, it wasn't finished. It existed for about a 12-13 episode format, and its last episode felt more budget cut than the last 2 episodes of Evangelion ever will. People want to talk about a loss of budget and we didn't do anything? How would you like to just watch stills? Stills voiced over because there's no animation and there's no real climactic ending. It is just over, no lesson learned. Or the route of, hey, let's have a more contained serialized... Well, all of them were serialized. Well, Universe and Tokyo are serialized. Episodic format is the original. But I really feel that with Tokyo, it really had more to say than the other two. The other two were just adventures. And I feel every other harem-based anime that's existed has literally just gone off of this particular format. Of which I'd say Shuffle got close to making me feel like that was a good one just because the protagonist picks someone. And it was also really horny. Shuffle's also really, really horny.
Oh my fucking god.
Hey, he does pick. He just picks all of them, apparently.
No, he picked the green hair one, and it was a good choice.
No, I meant Tenchi. It's basically the progenitor of the marry them all solution.
Technically not. He never did that in the series of these. It was just implied later that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least he took the two that had the worst chemistry together because they wanted him so much, and then he just rolled with them.
All right, yeah, but I've seen bits and pieces of the original OVA universe in Tokyo. Some of the movies, I think I've seen Daughter of Darkness, and I don't remember the other one that I saw. But yeah, I enjoy the comedy of this. You can definitely see how this is kind of the prototype for or inspiration for a lot of other things that would follow in its wake.
Which I also want to say, I am not including the Lum stuff in here. Lum by Rumiko Takahashi is a totally separate case that other things have copied. More along the lines of Darling and the Franxx. I want to say that probably is more the closer thing that was adopted from it. But otherwise, the central comedy and stuff that exists within Urase Yatsure is pretty much exclusive to Urusei Yatsura.
Yeah. Oh, I think even Urusei Yatsura was drawing from stuff like Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie and that I Have a Magical Girlfriend. What antics are we getting into this week?
I thought Yatsura was the beginner of that.
In anime, yes, but it drew inspiration from other works. Like those were both live action TV series from America. I don't know if they got much play in Japan around the time, but they have like the similar kind of vibe.
She's mentioned that a lot of her inspiration comes from Western media, so I wouldn't be shocked.
Mm-hmm. So yes, anything else on Tenchi, Josh?
No, that is it. I have said everything that I wanted to say.
Okay, then let me take us back and we start wrapping up. So yes, I'd like to thank both of you for coming out and doing this today. This has been a very fun time learning more about your tastes in anime.
I'll have good taste eventually, I swear.
Honestly, you have pretty good taste. Like having seen a bunch of people post very similar, or not very, their 3x3s online in various places. Good taste. Very much I've started watching in the past 5 years kind of taste, but you are watching good things. I will not take that from you.
Yeah, I'm working on getting through a bunch right now. I've got a 50 epic series long list right now.
Yeah, believe me, I've seen the list. I've added to the list.
Damn it. None of your additions counted.
Josh, yours, there were definitely some ones that I knew were going to be on there. I knew Dress Up Darling was going to be on there.
Yeah.
That might have been the only one that I actually figured, yeah, this definitely has to be on his. But it's very interesting getting to learn more about you, both of you, in this one. So yeah, thank you for coming. This is basically going to be the end for anime. I think technically, first week of June, Manuel and I might be talking about Fanime and Anime Boston as kind of an honorary episode, even though it'll be in June. I believe we're going dark for the rest of the week just because of those conventions. So we're
canceling next week?
What? Yeah, we're canceling next week as well.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So no DTR, no gaming streams apparently, unless they decide to do it randomly, which they might very well do. No Golden Sunday. No UPZ next week because we will both be out of town. But yes, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to be very hard at work tomorrow getting this up before I leave for Anime Boston tomorrow. If you liked what you've seen, consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/A2JConnection. Shout out to our patron Ed. Every dollar contributed helps keep our website ad-free. Follow us online. I will put it over someone's head probably, maybe just over chat. We're mostly A2J Connections or A2J Info on everything. Check out Reading the Wrong Way by the time this is up on YouTube. Our newest episode, part 2 of our Tokyo Babylon retrospective, will be up. Yeah, that was my pick, and I had a lot of fun talking about it with B and Ruby. Other than that, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hope you all have a good one. Thank you for having us.